Hey viewers, today we will be making chocolate chip cookies. And for that we need, well, chocolate, as well as some sugar, some eggs, some butter, and of course some flour, salt and baking powder. For step number 1, all we need is the chocolate. We're going to make the chocolate chips first, then put them in the fridge. You can of course use pre-made chocolate chips, but well, you might as well make them yourselves because it's pretty easy. Just break the chocolate bar into pieces and then chop up the pieces very roughly. Don't make the pieces too small or they will actually disappear into the cookie dough, which is not what you want. You want to have very outspoken chips in there. Once you're done chopping, put the chocolate chips in the fridge or even in the freezer, because this works best if the chocolate chips are very cold. Up next is the flour. We're going to use 400 grams of flour. Just put that in a big bowl. We're going to just mix everything together anyway. After the flour, we're going to go for some sugar, and we're going to add 400 grams of that as well. Once again, just put it in the same bowl. It doesn't matter. We're going to just mix everything together in one go and be done with it. To this mixture of flour and sugar, we add 2 eggs. After adding the eggs, we're going to mix all the ingredients together that are now in the bowl. Because as you may be able to tell, the butter is actually melted, or at least partially melted, in the microwave. It makes it easier to put it through the dough, and that makes it easier for you, obviously. It does, however, cause some problems if you add hot butter to raw eggs, because the eggs would actually start to cook, and that is not what you want. So if you mix it with the flour and the sugar, it should all be fine. So the butter goes in, we immediately mix it until it's cold, but that should take like less than 30 seconds. Now you mix the dough until it's nice and firm and has a good texture, but is the same everywhere, so there's no longer any sugar in it, there's no longer any flour visible. So basically everything is mixed together. And now we're adding the final ingredient. Take the chocolate chips from the freezer or fridge and add them to the mix and just stir them in. By the way, the salt and the baking powder have been added in between. I just kind of forgot. So if you haven't put them in at this point, this would be a good moment. And now my least favorite and the most time-consuming thing of making cookies, actually shaping the cookies. The size doesn't really matter, just don't make them too thick because they will melt and otherwise it will just be one blob of cookie, which can be good if you want that, but most of the time you don't want that. So you can bake these cookies in 2 different ways. First of all, both of them are 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degrees Fahrenheit, but it depends on how you want your cookies to come out. If you bake them for about 9 to 11 minutes, you get soft cookies in the middle with a little bit crispy outside layer, my personal favorite, but you can also bake them a little bit longer. Let's say bake them 11 minutes and then just let them cool off in the oven instead of outside of the oven. You get caramelized sugar then, and it becomes a different taste. So some people like them. The cookies become a little bit crispy that way. So that's really all there is to it. Now you can make your own chocolate chip cookies. It takes about 5 minutes to complete the entire recipe, including the cookie shaping if you're fast enough. And it should really not be a problem for anyone. So anyway, hope you enjoyed and enjoy your cookies.